Hey everybody, Penjamin15 here. We're going to review another ink pen. We're going to review the Preppy number 3 fine nib. I've got 0.3 on the description there, but I think it's just 3 as far as sizes go. Alright, so this is, I don't do too many fountain pens, but this one I find I really like, so we're going to do this one real quick. Okay, the company's name is Platinum, and they make the Preppy. They make a 2, which is a much finer nib. Then they make a 5, which is a little bit more chunkier than this one. That's a scientific term. Alright, and what I do enjoy about this one is how just user-friendly it is. Most fountain pens, you have to be really concerned about the orientation of the nib to the paper, and you always want to try to have the nib pressed flat on it. But if you wanted to rotate it a little bit, you could still get a lot of use out of it. I found this week that I used it, if I got in a hurry and I didn't really pay attention to the facing of the nib to the paper, it would still write. And then I would realize, oh wow, you know, that is a very good user-friendly kind of nib. Alright, so let's take a look at it. When you get it, it comes with an ink cartridge, and it's very easy to install. Basically the cartridge just is pressed against the tube inside, and it makes a snapping noise where it breaks the seal and allows the ink to flow into the nib so you can write. Okay, you might want to give it a little bit of time facing down for it to flow into the channel that it needs to, or just give it a little shake. But once it starts to flow, you really don't have to be too concerned about shaking it every time you use it. Once you uncap it, it is ready to go. And speaking of the cap, if you notice, there's a plastic cone inside the cap, and what that is like on roller pins or things like that, it is actually the seal that keeps, you know, the amount of air interacting with the nib when it's not in use to a minimum, so it prevents it from being dried out. So pretty smart move there. Okay, the 0.3 comes in a variety of colors. I think there's 7 that you can get in a pack. But if you're just wanting, if this is your first, this would be a great gift for somebody who's not really into fountain pens, but they want to give it a shot. A great low maintenance kind of pen, very forgiving, a great intro into the world of fountain pens, in my opinion. Okay. All right. So since it is fountain ink, it is very wet. So the smudge is going to be considerable. Okay, but we knew that. Okay, now man, it just writes so well, so quickly, intuitive. You don't have to be worried about that. Highlighter, it's a wet ink. Okay, that might be one of the detractors from using it as an everyday pen. If you take a lot of notes in like a notebook and you got to fold it quick and go, that might be a detractor for it. But this is the first fountain pen that I've used that I would consider putting in my pocket, bringing it every day. If I'm just taking notes, or if I'm doing, you know, this could be the pen for the signature, you know, just that it just feels good when you pull something a little bit unique out of your pocket to do a signature with. You know, you're like that guy that carries the bird on the beach. Old joke. Alright, so let's get down to the nitty and the gritty. It's the closest thing to an EDC fountain pen that I've come to. I would use it. I plan to. It's a great intro into the world of fountain pens if you have somebody, or if you want to get a little bit more experience with fountain pens before you invest lots of money diving down the rabbit hole of fountain pens. This might be the way to go. It's very forgiving. You know, you don't have to be so concerned about the orientation of the nib to the paper. It's just a pretty good intro. And the price of it, I think it retails for about $4.50, depending on where you get it. So a little bit more expensive than some other budget fountain pens, like from Pilot or anything like that. But I think because it is so forgiving, and it really does feel good in hand, and it writes very well, well worth the $5, in my opinion. All right. Today is Memorial Day. I hope you guys are having a great holiday, if you can celebrate the holiday. If not, I'm thinking about you, man. All right, so real quick, the handles on the socials. If you would reach out to me, I'd love to interact with you. Thank you so much, guys. I love you very much.